but it wasn't like he threw him to the ground. It was one of those plays where 20 years ago, everybody's like, don't do that. The ref go, don't do that again.
Right.
And now you take such a stance on safety,
Right.
which it just it makes you so irritated from the previous week when they're trying to defend what was an obvious roughing, and then this week you get a makeup call. And I mean, I think even all Alabama fans realize, okay, that's a makeup call from the previous week, and that doesn't help. And I told you on this show last week, I said, Mississippi State's going to get hosed this week. You could see it coming clear as day. And that isn't right either. You know, that's not right either.
I'm going to tell you, it ain't been a good year for officials.
No, it's been quite pathetic, and it
seems like, and I'm going to say this about us on high school broadcast. And I had a guy 20-something years ago when I started, broadcasting to tell me, make sure you don't make the game about officials. Don't harp on a call and ride that call for a quarter. And I remember some guys that I used to listen to, and it got monotonous when they would call a game because they'd get stuck on what an official did, and all they did was talk about how bad they were, and they can't make a call right, and they screwed our team, and this, that, and the other. And, you know, people go, I don't want to listen to that because it's not enjoyable. I mean, I'm not even hearing about what's going on in the game. You got a couple guys up there griping about how bad the officials are. But let me say something about that. Times have changed. In the 20-plus years I've been calling football on radio and TV, I hate to say it, but officiating's gotten worse. And I made a point to call it, penalties, however many we had versus how many another team had. If it was a really, really bad call, you might say, man, that was a questionable call, and move on. Now it is so egregious and so lopsided and so bad, some of the calls that were made, like the touchdown call at Pelham. I'm sorry. You go back and watch the tape. That is the worst call I've ever seen. Guy is a full yard short of the goal line, and the line judge gives him a touchdown. I mean, I'd understand if his knee went down and he fell over the goal line and people went, well, his knee was down before he crossed. That ain't what happened, man. The guy fell on the one. He was tackled on the one from behind, and the official gave him a touchdown. So, you know, one of the things that you look at is our broadcasts have been forced to talk about how bad some of these calls are. And I feel like if you don't stress and talk about that, then you look even dumber if you do ignore it because it's such a huge part of the game now. I think that's where we are with it.
Yeah, and again, it's just a massive problem. And then, of course, the problem is made worse by the fact that we bring it up. And then if you're in a potential official out there, you're like, well, I don't want to do this. I mean, I hate that these two things are not apples to apples, but you think about this, I look at it like someone joining the Army. Like, you got to want that. That's in your blood because it would be hard to recruit somebody because all you see all the time, U.S. is bad and we invade and we do and we're just,
right.
You know, you almost like you've got to just have it in your heart.
Sure.
And so I have a special place in my heart for those folks who feel that way, who feel so patriotic to join the service. And we should feel that way a little bit about officials. They don't get paid enough. They catch all the heat.
They do.
And nobody ever says, man, what a great game you called. Nobody ever does that.
You know, we always say officials' best, you know, compliment is not talking about them at all. You know, that's some of the best officiating that you have. But, again, look, you know, there's some really good officials out there that put a lot of time in, put a lot of effort into it. There's a shortage in the state. There's a shortage nationwide at the high school level. I get all that. Again, I go back to my comment last week or the week before. It doesn't give you an excuse if you choose to do that to be bad at it. Now, again, you're human. You make mistakes. Everybody does. I'm not saying that. But some of these guys I've watched, they make one bad call after another, and it's almost like you don't know what the rules are. And so when you get to that point, you're dealing with what you are. You're dealing with what you got. And I think we're starting to see, you know, the problem kind of be exclamated. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it's a lot greater. All right, so let's talk about the SEC from last week. LSU and Mississippi and Ole Miss. Now, when in the world? Now, I understand storming the field again in the Iron Bowl in 2013 on Kick 6, because we'll probably never see a play like that again. Most Iron Bowl wins, Alabama doesn't storm the field ever, but most Iron Bowl wins, Auburn's not storming the field. It has to be some spectacular play or some spectacular ending. All right, when in the world does LSU storm the field after a win against Ole Miss?
I've never known them to do it ever. Now, they may have, but yeah. And again, and here's the thing: the SEC did up the fine to $250,000. And my point is this: okay, what you say next time is,
well, now it's becoming a trend.
Yeah, if you storm, here's what I would do, especially in the SEC where you have these stadiums with 9,500 and 5,000 people. Say if you storm the field, you forfeit the next game, or you forfeit that game, or you can't. The only way to stop it is to make it. It's sort of like targeting, and you can say, well, that's so over the top. The targeting penalty is way over the top. But they felt like they had to do something to take it out of the game.
I agree with that.
And I understand. And you've got to do $100,000 to Tennessee for storming the field, where they get more press for storming the field. I mean, how many times did we see the people on the field smoking the cigars, doing the thing? And again, they got much more than $100,000 worth of PR out of that. So you've got to make it where it's not worth their time and not worth the effort. Or it is worth the effort to block people from coming out there. And you can stop it. You just got to have enough security.
That is not something you want to start becoming a trend where it doesn't matter who you play in or what the deal is. When you win, you storm the field.
And I've always thought this. Football, certainly, I've always thought it. I've definitely always thought it about basketball, where players are even more vulnerable. You're out there with no pads. You're out there, and people are right on top of you, at least in football. You sometimes have to jump over some bushes, or you have to do something. But in basketball, it could get dicey quick. So I don't understand. And again, in theory, it sounds like it's so much fun and everybody has a great picture. But in real practice, we live in a world with sick people.
No, you're
so
right.
You can't do that. You just can't do it. It's like just say you can't just let a child from kindergarten go with somebody who says, yeah, I'm his uncle, and the kid's like, that's not my uncle. He's like, well, he says he's your uncle, just go on. You can't do that anymore.
You can't do it. Yeah.
You used to be anybody, a friend could pick up a kid from school.
I agree with you.
You can't do it anymore.
Times are different. We talked about it just a minute ago. A lot of things change 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
Hey, it's a pain in the butt to get on an airplane. But there's a reason for it. I don't like it. But there's a reason for it, and we have to be safer, as safe as we can be, and it's not safe anymore.
And I'm okay with that a little bit.
Again, and look, I'm not saying this necessarily all for the football players. I'm also saying this for the fans. Maybe, look, there's some Alabama fans like, you don't know what that girl said. But what if she said nothing? What if she really did say, I don't know what she said, but what if she did say nothing? And Burton was like, I'm about to deck the next person that comes down.
That's right, just in his mind.
Now he didn't deck her, but he made contact.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But and who's to say one of those guys in the stands isn't drunk and has a knife or has a shiv
and
or
he
has
goes out there and stabs somebody.
And I know everybody's like, this is crazy. We've seen crazier stuff than this.
It's not crazy because it can happen.
There's a dude in New York pushing people in front of subways right now. We live in a different time, and you got to be safer.
And you got to do everything you can to be safe, no doubt. Up against the break, stay tuned. More Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
No monthly payments till after the holidays. At Glenn Smith in Opelika.
Enjoy big discounts on Chevrolet Buick and GMC SUVs. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till next year? New Chevy Equinox as low as $329 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $5,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $6,000 off.
Get 0% financing, no payments till next year at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Gorees Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Talladega Outdoors in Talladega is your authorized Kawasaki sale and service center. Your home for Bad Boy mowers and Kimco scooters, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. Rather for hunting, land management, or recreation, they have the ride for you. But they are also everything outdoor with full lines of accessories and is now your Ariat workwear and boot store, along with kayaks and outdoor accessories. Talladega Outdoor, Highway 21 in Talladega. Everything outdoor and Alabama's #1 Kawasaki dealer.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing